Welcome to the UND Intramural Badminton Online Captain's PowerPoint. The Assistant Director of Wellness Programs is Patrick Marco, and the Intramural Program Manager for Badminton is Kevin Gola. All games will be played at the Hislop Sports Center. Here are the starting and ending dates of the regular season league and the playoff season for this semester. As the captain, you serve as the liaison between the intramural program and your team. Make sure you are familiar with all sport rules and intramural policies. Make sure that each of your players are eligible to participate and let them know of scheduled game times. Let us know if you're unable to make it and regularly check your email for updates from the intramural staff. Before their first contest, each one of your players must be registered and join your team's roster on imleagues.com, where you will be able to find all schedules, rules, and free agent listings. In order to be eligible, all players must be a UND student or a faculty or staff member with a Wellness Center membership, be on your IMLeagues team roster, and have their UND ID on them. Players can be added to the roster at any time before playoffs, but they can only play for one team. Any ineligible player caught will subject themselves and their team to penalties outlined in the intramural handbook. Each team in every game will be rated on a 1 to 4 point scale for their sportsmanship before, during, and after a contest. If a player is ejected from a contest, that player will be suspended from their next game. A forfeit occurs when a team has no players on site at game time. That team will then be ineligible for playoffs, and if they receive 2 forfeits, the team will be dropped from the league. A default occurs when a team has players present, but the minimum number has not yet been met. Or if the captain notifies the intramural office that they will not be attending a game at least 6 hours in advance. If they receive 2 defaults, the team will be ineligible for playoffs, and if they receive 3 defaults, they will be dropped from the league. To compete in playoffs, teams must have won at least 2 games, a cumulative sportsmanship rating of 3 or higher, no forfeits, and no more than 1 default. Only players that participated in the regular season can participate in playoffs, and playoff scheduling may be different than regular season scheduling. No individual is allowed to be in possession or under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Any player caught will be immediately removed, suspended from their next game, and reported to UND safety. Team names must be appropriate. If deemed inappropriate by intramural staff, they will be immediately changed. The intramural staff is first aid and CPR certified and will provide initial emergency care to any injured parties. Participation is voluntary. Any bleeding players must immediately leave the game area and cannot return until the wound is covered, the bleeding has stopped, and any blood-stained clothing has been removed. Report all injuries to the intramural staff. No boots or open-toed footwear are allowed, and all jewelry must be removed for all intramural contests. The singles court is 17 feet wide and 20 feet long, and the doubles court is 20 feet wide and 19 feet long. Players should rally to determine who serves first, and let serves are legal. Games are played up to 21, and teams must win by 2 unless they score 30 points. Only the server is awarded points, and the shuttle cannot contact wall, ceiling, player's clothing, or the net. During the serve, the shuttle cannot be above the server's waist. Their racket cannot be above their hand and must be below their wrist. The shuttle cannot be slung, contacted with anything other than a racket, or hit more than once before going over the net.
Because there are no officials on site,
it is the responsibility of both teams to
keep
report the score to the supervisor
Both
on duty
captains,
immediately
please
after
report
your game
scores
ends.
immediately
If you
after the
believe that your
game
opponent has
to the
exhibited
supervisor
poor
on duty.
sportsmanship, please notify the
If
supervisor
an
on
opponent
duty or the
exhibits poor
intramural staff within
sportsmanship,
24
please
hours.
notify the supervisor on duty or intramural staff within 24 hours of the contest.
This video is only a small overview of the rules. Please read and be familiar with all sport rules and the intramural handbook. Ignorance of the rules is not an excuse, and remember all official calls are final. Like the Wellness Center Facebook page for all Wellness Center event updates at facebook.com/UNDWellness. For a full list of intramural sports, visit imleagues.com/UND. Thanks for watching. If you have any further questions, please visit UND.com/intramurals.